City commissioners getting a look at the Sarasota Bayfront plan right now. We'll take you inside that meeting at City Hall.
And the red tide may be gone, but the community is still trying to recover. We'll show you how Sarasota County plans to regain tourists they've lost.
And a decision is made on a suspended football player from Braden River High School. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Right now, despite a reprieve from red tide, the outbreak may have long-lasting effects on Suncoast tourism. At one point this summer, 75% of hotels in our area reported reservation cancellations.
But there is a game plan to bring those tourists back. ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez is live on Siesta Key with a strategy to bring the beaches back.
We thought, where is everybody at? And it's lovely. I mean, we have not been affected one bit. We haven't noticed one slight cough or any irritation from the red tide.
And that's what's really happening right now on almost every beach in Sarasota County. Things are getting back to normal. Except there's one thing missing: the people. And that's why tourism leaders are trying to reverse the quick spread of photos and videos on social media to let people know that.
Well, we have some local members who are actually making a daily practice of going out and shooting live video on the beach, and there's also a live webcam that is positioned at the public beach, and anyone can go on there and view that. And so it gives you a real-time footage or visual of what the beach is looking like and what's going on at that moment.
And aside from this, local businesses in Siesta Key, for example, are getting creative and offering special Goodbye Red Tide promotions.
We're going to have to do whatever we have to do to get the people to come back into the store. We have an annual clothing sale that kind of falls into the same time, late August, that we've been doing. It's been bringing a few people out. We're also doing a half day, all day, where you pay the half day price. You can have one of our boats all day, 9 hours. So we're doing that to try to get people out here.
And it's not just the shops, but restaurants as well.
Doing a rolling back the price menu to 1986 prices, so it's a savings of almost 40%. So you can pick an entree and have a salad, and the prices are going to reflect a 1986 price, which is when Turtles first started.
That was ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez reporting. On top of all of these efforts, Visit Sarasota County currently working with Visit Florida and using the state funding that they've received to have advertising all throughout the United States, claiming that the toxic algae is gone and that paradise is waiting for them.
An update now on some pygmy killer whales being cared for at Mote Marine Lab in Sarasota. Red tide may have claimed yet another life. 2 of the 3 pygmy killer whales that were rescued in the last week have now died. Mote is still caring for 1 whale that was found in Longboat Key, which is still in critical condition. One of the dead whales will be taken to the University of Florida for necropsy. The other will be examined at Mote Marine. It will take several weeks for scientists to determine their cause of death.
Right now, city commissioners are making their final decision about the future of Sarasota's Bayfront. Our crews are at City Hall right now getting up-to-the-minute details about their decisions. As you can see, a packed room there. Right now, the planning organization is presenting its final proposal for the future of the Bayfront. They include an outdoor event lawn and theater, possibly a floating stage, and a ferry and water taxi. The plan also includes keeping the Van Wezel, as well as making room for a new performing arts hall in that area.
All right, time to get a check on our weather this evening with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. We had a busy afternoon across the area, Bob.
Sure did. Those storms that brought some heavy rainfall from Venice all the way through Nokomis, Osprey, up Siesta, all the way to Anna Maria, northwest Bradenton. Most of it now shifting off into the Gulf of Mexico, but there's still one lingering storm right there near I-275, the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, stretching down toward Palmetto and may clip the north end of Anna Maria Island, but not a lot. We will still see some lightning, occasionally lightning, some showing up there near St. Petersburg southward. This storm is weakening here to the south. It's gaining some strength over Pinellas County, but elsewhere things are pretty quiet now in Highlands, Hardy, DeSoto, and into Manatee and Sarasota counties, with the exception of that rain I just showed you over in northwest Manatee County. Well, this is an interesting storm. It's gone from Category 4 at this time yesterday down to just barely hanging on to hurricane status. Wind shear now beating it up badly. It's moving to the northwest at 10 now. Things have changed a little bit as far as where it's going to go in the future. This is the latest from the National Hurricane Center, showing it gaining some strength by Sunday back to a Category 2 storm. And then as it makes its way further off to the west, it looks as though it's going to get back to a major hurricane by Monday of next week. And then look at that. It stays south of Bermuda, it looks like, heading off right toward somewhere along the East Coast. There's still a lot of uncertainty. We'll talk more about that and another storm developing a little bit later in the newscast. Back to you.
Thanks, Bob. New at 6, a child playing with candles causes a house fire in Charlotte County. Firefighters responded to the fire in Port Charlotte late last night. The 11-year-old child and 2 parents made it out safely. However, 2 of the family's cats died. Firefighters say the child was playing with a candle in her closet when it was knocked over. She tried to put it out by putting a towel over the flames when the fire spread. The Red Cross is now helping that family.
In Sarasota, detectives have arrested a man for allegedly having a large amount of child pornography on his iPad. Reagan Stunkel is facing 40 counts of sexual performance by a child. He's being held without bond and will be arraigned in 5 weeks. Police say more charges are likely.
3 convicted felons are facing new drug charges. Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies found they were trafficking fentanyl and heroin. It only took detectives 3 days to track down Joseph Wright and to find several $100s worth of drugs in a house in North Sarasota. 2 others were also arrested during the undercover investigation. Wright and Tiffany Johnson are still in jail, facing several trafficking and possession charges. Reginald McKenzie posted bail yesterday.
The Republican and Democratic nominees for governor in Florida have selected their running mate. Republican nominee Ron DeSantis has selected Miami State Representative Jeanette Nunez as his running mate. She is the first Cuban-American woman to run for lieutenant governor of Florida. Tallahassee Mayor Andrew Gillum picking Orlando area businessman Chris King as his running mate as he seeks to become the first Democrat elected Florida governor since 1994.
The results of the August 28th primary have now been certified. Florida Secretary of State Ken Dentzner says he's confident cybersecurity in the state's voting system is where it needs to be ahead of the November general election. Earlier this summer, nearly $20 million of federal money was sent to the state to help with election security. That money going toward software security upgrades and improving the safety of buildings in which election equipment is stored or used.
You have to be vigilant every day when it comes to cybersecurity. Nobody's overconfident. We are working hard, making sure that all of our systems are working, the hardware, the software, the personnel.
Cybersecurity has gained increased focus this year following revelations the state's voting systems were targeted by Russian hackers in 2016.
No more waiting at the Sarasota airport, wishing that hotel shuttle would arrive. The Hampton Inn and Suites at Sarasota Airport is replacing its airport shuttle service with Uber Central to offer guests free transportation to and from the airport. Instead of waiting for a hotel shuttle, guests will be assigned a personal Uber driver to take them directly to and from the hotel. The hotel says providing a personal Uber ride to each guest is actually more efficient than the ongoing cost of maintaining a hotel-operated shuttle and the staff members to drive it.
Looking ahead this Saturday, the Suncoast Reef Rovers Venice Dive Club is planning an underwater trash cleanup at the Venice Mooring Field. The mooring field is the sailboat mooring area near the Venice Yacht Club. Right now, you're looking at one of the past cleanup projects the club has held. If you'd like to join the effort, meet at the Venice Yacht Club Saturday at 9 a.m. Still to come in your Suncoast News, continuing coverage of the Sarasota Bayfront meeting today. City commissioners will decide whether or not to invest millions of dollars into the redesign of a portion of Sarasota's Bayfront.
He was in survival mode his entire life, and he did not want to leave to help himself, but to help his family.
Plus, a local athlete finds out if he's able to play the rest of the high school football season.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional, She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Serving part-time as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment to get an edge in the civilian world. Learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you at NationalGuard.com.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotole Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
Continuing coverage now on a story that will affect Sarasota's Bayfront for decades to come.
City of Sarasota commissioners meeting right now to decide the future of Sarasota's Bayfront. ABC 7's Taylor Torregano is at City Hall right now. And Taylor, what can you tell us about the meeting so far?
Good evening, Jacqueline Scott. Just inside these doors is standing room only, without much room for even that. And the planning team just said that the City of Sarasota citizens have made it very clear that this 53 acres of Bayfront land is something they really care about. Now, years of planning comes down to tonight, where the City Commission will decide whether or not to approve the Sarasota Bayfront Planning Organization's master plan. Right now, the planning organization is presenting its final plan that they say is a product of 31 public meetings and close to 46,000 inputs from the community. Take a look. This is the final plan. Phase 1 includes 3 pedestrian bridges, the possible removal of Gee Whiz, the former Science Museum, and 3 or 4 spaces that will host numerous community activities throughout the year.
And phase 1 will be the first taste of what's coming on this property. And there's so much more coming, but this will really get people an idea as, okay, the city's really serious about this. This is going to be in a very exciting place to go, and we can't wait for the future phases to be implemented.
Now, if the commission approves this master plan tonight, the planning organization expects to be able to break ground by the end of next year. And they did make it very clear that they expect to have a lot of donors, so they don't want the city to have to pay for too much of the entire master plan's funding. We'll keep you updated on the outcome of this meeting coming up at 11. I'm live at City Hall. Taylor Torregano, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Taylor.
All right, Bob's been watching a lot of thunderstorm activity today.
Yeah, it was big too, heavy at times. Most of it's moved on, and we've got a lot of activity to talk about in the tropics. So let's get right to it and show you. Van Wezel webcam showing a nice afternoon. It was out at Longboat Key today. No hints of red tide. There was a south end in terms of any kind of irritation going on to the eyes or the throat, for that matter. But the water was a little bit discolored. Van Wezel webcam showing all those storms now have pushed on through and out into the Gulf of Mexico. Well, the remnants really of what was Gordon still making its way through Arkansas tonight, and more moisture trailing out into the western portion of Florida, as well as into Mississippi and Alabama still getting some heavy rainfall. We've had our fair share of those afternoon storms. They're moved off into the Gulf and pretty quiet right now across most of our viewing area. There are some showers still lingering over in northwestern portions of Manatee County. Very light rainfall there. Heavier storms up north near St. Petersburg forward. The forecast tonight still calling for an isolated shower still possible through the 9 o'clock hour, and then generally fair. Most areas will stay dry for the remainder of the night. And then we'll start off sunshine, great weather for drop off for school, and then showers and storms for pickup, and could linger into the game time for much of the high school football action. Some of the storms will be a little stronger tomorrow too, I suspect, as a result of this upper level low, which will be hanging around right through Saturday. So Saturday, a pretty good chance for showers and storms scattered about as well. But the main focus will be inland too in the afternoon as our winds start to switch more to a southwest. And you'll see Sunday a little bit better. Boy, this was a storm that went from a Category 4 down to a 1 today, just barely hanging on to hurricane status. It's being sheared apart. You see all these clouds racing off to the east. That's those strong upper level winds. And the center itself is rather exposed, although we're starting to see some deep convection developing just recently. This is Florence. It has 80-mile-an-hour winds. It's moving to the west, and you can see from the forecast cone of uncertainty that it's going to be somewhere in this cone on Monday of next week and Tuesday of next week, I should say, is a Category 3 hurricane. And forecast models are suggesting after that, say 7 days from now, there's a chance it could be a major hurricane once again. And it's what we know. It's west movement is likely. High pressure to the north of it will more than likely drive it more to the west. These models may not be holding true as far as that goes. It will be strengthening again. It's down to a 1, possibly up to a 3 again in 5 days from now. Big surf for the east coast regardless, and there's a lot of uncertainty in after 6-7 days. You can see the spread all the way down south here. This is a United Kingdom model, UK Met, and then we go all the way up into the Canadian model here. The spread is over 1,000 miles, so there's still a long way to go. But indications are from the European forecast model, and the GFS verifies with that. This is the forecast path and track. This is Tuesday of next week, and then Wednesday, right on into the Outer Banks, North Carolina. Don't focus so much there, though. As I said, it could be anywhere from there all the way up to the northeast United States. But it does appear that it's going to stay on that westerly course and be a big problem next week. Now, as far as the rest of the weather goes, we are still watching another system way out there in the Atlantic, and this one more than likely will be Helene, and its forecast path and track is more off toward the west in the next 5 days. Could have an impact on the islands down the road, so that one bears watching as well next week. So it's a next week time frame for both of those storms, for the islands and for the United States, mainly along the east coast. East winds turn to the northwest, 5 to 10 knots. There'll be a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The 7-day forecast, 70% chance for scattered storms tomorrow, could interrupt the football game. 60% chance on Saturday, less of a chance Sunday and Monday, and then subject to change Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, depending upon the future path and track of Florence. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A follow-up now on the fate of a Braden River High School senior fighting to play football after alleged district violations. Representatives of Braden River High appearing in front of the Florida High School Athletic Association Appeals Board in Manatee County to try and get senior Knowledge McDaniel back on the team. The board ruled 3-1 to allow him to participate in only non-district games. There are only 3 remaining, but he will not be allowed to play in postseason or District 11 games.
Your poverty does not trump the poverty of other people's at all, other people at all. It just doesn't. And it doesn't even come close to the poverty that I had as a child. Not even close. Not even close. But we all have to play by a set of rules.
The whole issue stems from McDaniels and his mother being evicted from their home. His mom then asked one of her son's friend's parents to take him in, so they did. But because those parents are boosters, that breaks FHSAA rules, and he was removed from the team. Today's ruling can be appealed. There's no word yet if that will happen. He will be eligible to play tomorrow against Manatee if the coaches decide to let him play. You can watch the highlights of that game on ABC7's Football Friday nights at 11.
Manatee County School District employees are having problems with their paychecks. Many teachers are confused on the new pay stub terminology and in some cases only receiving a fraction of what they are owed. The district says it's the new payroll software just implemented a few months ago that's causing these widespread problems. School Superintendent Cynthia Saunders says the district has sent messages to staff urging employees to report any issues, as well as asking for their patience.
It's a painful process for all of us, and we're aware and we're working on it, and it's our job to make sure that things are running smoothly so that our employees are able to do the job that they're hired to do and not have to worry about their paycheck.
Superintendent says most of the shortcomings and issues they've been experiencing should be corrected within the next few months.
The Manatee County School District has joined forces with the Manatee Education Foundation to launch the Manatee Arts Education Council. That council is made up of educators, artists, and community leaders to promote and celebrate art in the district. The foundation's mission is for every student in every public school to have access to well-rounded education available to support lifelong learning in the arts.
The future has arrived at a Charlotte County development, Babcock Ranch, unveiling plans for self-driving school buses. The buses are first of their kind and are supposed to start shuttle transportation later this fall. More than 300 students are expected to use the new buses. For now, the buses will use a designated pickup drop-off area, but designers plan to eventually offer door-to-door service on demand through a mobile app.
Stay with us. When we come back, we'll show you the 3 men who were rescued today after their boat capsized in South Florida.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Addiction is a dark place, but just as each new day breaks, there is light. A light that illuminates the people by your side. Out of the darkness, you are walking with 22 million others struggling with addiction. The cure to darkness is light. The cure to stigma is love. And the cure to disease is treatment. Join us as we walk into the dawn of the new day. Together, we are stronger than addiction. Learn more at chatterproof.org.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
3 people in South Florida are lucky to be alive after their boat capsized. It happened near Lake Worth Inlet, just north of Palm Beach. The Coast Guard received a call this morning that their boat was taking on water and their engines were unresponsive. The 3 men were found about 30 minutes later, sitting on the hull of their boat with no injuries. Good story. Good ending there.
Yeah, lucky for them. I was out on Lombo Key and no apparent signs of red tide except for the color of water, and that looked like it was more brown tide. I met a couple from Syracuse, New York. They just come down just yesterday. They have a month down here. Wow. And they were very concerned, but they got there, they walked out, they talked to me, and they said, you know, we're very happy the way things are right now. Yeah. And that hopefully it stays like that way and gets a little bit better as we move on through time.
Certainly.
Keep that east wind. That
yeah,
sure helps.
That is, looking a little west over the weekend, but it shouldn't be a big factor.
Okay, thanks, Bob. World News Tonight with David Muir is coming up next.
We'll see you again at 7 and 11. Have a good night.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Dear parents, it's time for a pop quiz. What's the best kind of play for kids? Play that makes us think? Or helps us pretend? Or teaches us rules? Or to be creative? Actually, every kind of play is important because different kinds of play give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, class dismissed. Now go play.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
I need medical exams, things like that.
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Girls got it.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.